it's time to bring in our special guest for the evening, San Diego Superchargers nose tackle Antonio Garay, the starter. Mr. Garay, how you doing tonight?
What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
We're doing fantastic. We appreciate you stopping by the show. We got a bunch of people here in the chat room, on the phone lines, looking to talk to you, get some of your input. I have a couple of my chefs here in the kitchen. I want to get, I don't want to get too serious on you, but one question that often comes up, especially around drafts and stuff, you're a guy that's played in both a 4-3 defense and a 3-4 defense. Can you explain to the listeners some of the differences between playing a 3-4 nose tackle, which you played masterfully last year, and playing a 4-3 defensive tackle, which you played before that?
In Chicago and prior to that, just Tampa 2, everything is gap orientated, where basically firing off, getting in your gap, and as long as all the guys are in their gaps, everyone, if you don't make a play, you'll allow someone else to make a play. And the front that we're in now in San Diego, a lot of similarities between the two, but it's just known for basically two gapping, allowing to to take on your the offensive player and allowing someone else around you to make a play. And when the ball carrier comes to you, the ability just to rip off and make a play. But for the most part, football's football, So, you're going to line up someone's lining up in that position, whether you want to call them outside linebacker, DN, what have you. But at the end of the day, it's 11 guys on 11 guys.
A great point. I want you to throw something at him.
Tone, what's going on, man?
Yo, what's going on?
Not much, man. So I actually had some people doing some research on you, man. They gave me some things to throw at you. One question I got, I'm going to let it go around after this one. I hear that you were a wrestler. So how did your wrestling experience, help you stay agile and disciplined to control some of the top offensive linemen in front of you?
Being a nose tackle, pretty much every play is damn near a wrestling match. So, there's a lot of holding, grabbing, and all that kind of stuff going on in there. But I think if anything, it helped me more mentality-wise than anything else, just because in wrestling it's just basically one-on-one. You don't got no one to blame but yourself if you mess up. And during the course of a game, you got like 11 guys on 11 guys, and I think it's just primarily just that mentality that, any given play is just me versus center.
All right, James, you're up.
It's all right. I'm just cooking it up with you guys, that's all.
That's right.
You were going into Jets training camp, and how did you stay motivated as a camp body as opposed to being a draft pick for a different team?
You talking about here? Wait, say that again. Run that back.
I think what he's trying to ask you, Antonio, is going to the Jets practice squad. How much harder is it to stay motivated on the practice squad as opposed to being on the 53-man roster?
I think it's just as motivated. If you're confident in your abilities and you got dreams, goals, and ambitions, I think it's pretty easy to stay motivated. I'm sure before you guys are on radio, you guys are going through some things yourselves. So, same way I stuck with it, I'm sure it's the way you guys stuck with it and came up, to have your own show and to be cooking it up. So, if you have a lot of passion, you got to love something, got the willpower and the drive, it's easy just to keep pushing.
All right, Sirius, you're up, my man.
Yo, what's going on, man? Pleasure for you to come by and kick it with us. Quick question for you. I'm an X and O type of dude, so I'm going to go back to that 3-4, 4-3 type of question. As a defensive end or defensive tackle or nose guard, whatever you want to call yourself, I think, each player within his own right has a preference or a favorite, if you can look back over your career, what would you prefer to play, a 3-4 or 4-3?
I think anyone that has any knowledge of my career, most success I've had is here in San Diego, is here in this defense. So, I think it's pretty easy to answer that question. So,
hey, Antonio, sorry about that. Go ahead.
No. That's pretty much my answer right there. So you guys got it.
Yeah, hey, Antonio, this is Brian. I'm out here on the West Coast with you. I'm out here in California, so I get an opportunity to see a lot of your games. Now, one of the things that some of the naysayers would say is that you were actually given an opportunity to start in the 3-4. Now, you were plucked off the practice squad, and you had some big shoes to fill in Pro Bowl nose tackle Jamal Williams. Did you, I know you have that self-confidence, but a lot of the Charger fans that called in here, at least year one is confident. How confident were you in your abilities to step right in and fill, those Pro Bowl nose tackle shoes in Jamal Williams in that 3-4 defense?
Well, I got a lot of confidence. I think anyone that knows me knows that, and anyone that got a chance to sit down and talk to me, definitely after a few minutes will understand how confident I am. As far as filling Jamal's shoes, I believe he's top 50, Chargers of all time. So, he's a great player, a great guy. I've gotten an opportunity to meet him while I was out here, be a teammate with him for a little while. But, I was basically told, when I was in high school, don't just compete against the guys next to you. Make sure you're competing against yourself. Sometimes, my high school coaches basically, told me to keep a high level of expectations of myself. Because sometimes when you try to compare yourself to other guys, whether it be on your team, in the league, sometimes you can limit yourself. So, my goals, my dreams, and, I'm pretty focused on what I need to do. So I kind of try to just make sure I'm competing against myself every day, making sure I'm getting better. So come Sundays, I can take care of business and handle what I have to handle.
All right. Now this is like a four-way question, all right? What center has given you the toughest matchup? What center do you lick your chops at that you just can't wait to beat? And which center is like the dirtiest center that you don't like to face?
I think it changes every week for me. I don't really think there's no center out there that, I'm intimidated of or I'm happy to be playing against for any given reason. I play this sport, because I like competition, and for the simple fact that I just, it's good and it's refreshing to see that you got someone different to compete against every week. And just with my mindset and my mentality is kind of, I want to continue to get better, continue to work on my craft. So any type of different scheme or different center I could get, guards, what have you, it really changes, Some teams, I might get doubled, more often than another team. Some teams are confident in their center where they think that they might be able to handle me one-on-one, but that's why I prepare during the week to make sure that, I have to get double teams or I have to get triple teams.
Antonio, the San Diego Chargers are notorious for starting seasons soft, or I should say getting better as the season progresses. You start a little slow, get behind the eight ball a little bit, and then push it through the gate at the end of the season. And usually, most of the time, it ends in you making the playoffs and everything being relatively okay. But this season, you're starting to what I can, from my memory, is probably the best start in quite a while. Is there something different about this season as opposed to other seasons that you're starting out a little bit better?
I would just say just the whole the whole atmosphere as far as our team atmosphere, team mentality. I think that in past years, this is now going to be my, third season here. But I just think in the past, they've always had, great players, explosive players, you know what I mean? But I think, the guys that are still here, there's a great core of guys that have been around. Everyone knows what they want, to happen, easier said than done. But I think that this team, instead of, having, we have, high expectations of ourselves. And just the approach is just, one day at a time. I just think that quality that were in certain individuals in the past years, it's pretty much spread out throughout our whole roster, all 61 guys that are on our roster. Everyone pretty much has the same mentality and knows what we're going after.
What's up, my man? It's your boy, Sirius, again. I got two questions for you. I'm kind of jumping the gun here. I think everybody in this league, kind of looks up to somebody, takes advice from somebody. Is there anybody in this league, maybe a Haloti Ngata or a Casey Hampton or Colin Jenkins that you go to kind of pick their brain and kind of find out what makes them, as great as they are? And the second part of the question is, if so, if you could share with us, what advice have they gave you and how can you apply that to your particular game to put you, in, a better state or in a better class?
Well, I've never met any of those guys, so there's nobody in the league. There's a lot of guys that I'm friends with. I'm cool with and stuff like that. I don't have any, good material for you guys to tell you, oh, such and such is my good friend, or I have him on speed dial, or he's in my Fab Five. I don't have really anyone in the league that I call or stuff like that. I've had people that have helped me out at times. You know what I'm saying? That with advice and stuff like that. I have a really solid family, a solid family core at home. So between my parents, my brother and sister, I got about 50 people, 50 family members just back home in Rahway that, always give me support, come from a very athletic household. So, most of my support and most of my, knowledge of the game has just come from where I grew up, and I've been very fortunate enough to have, great coaches in my life that have, helped form me, not just on the football field, but off the football field.
Hey, Antonio, this is Brian out here on the West Coast. We could definitely add Sports City Chefs to your Fab Five, and you can give us advice on our men's flag football league, maybe. But seriously, on a serious note,
if you got a flag football team, I got my family team back in Rahway. You guys ever want to, play against them? You guys might get a little roughed up, but I'll put that out there for you guys.
Whatever, man.
I'm telling you right now, as athletic as I is, I'll bet you the women in his team, in his family, would probably beat our team.
I got a pretty solid squad back in Rahway that the Rahway Milton Lakers, they'll handle it for me if you guys want to get a game.
Yeah, Jersey ain't never said nothing, man.
Hey, let me ask you a serious question, Antonio, because we have a lot of San Diego fans that have called into the show, and, you have been a big reason why San Diego fans have had hope for this defense moving forward. You lose an Igor Olshansky, you lose Jamal Williams. Fans get nervous, but, you were in the top 5 at nose tackle. For people who don't understand the game, they don't realize that it's not common for a nose tackle to have 50-plus tackles and 5.5 sacks. You were in the top 5 at your position for what you did last year, especially year one, especially for being on the number 1 ranked defense. Were you surprised or disappointed at all that you were not voted in to the Pro Bowl as just a recognition, because not only do the fans get an opportunity, but players and coaches in the league also get an opportunity? Were you surprised at all you weren't voted in?
I leave that up to, the press, the media, and the fans, do all that voting and kind of stuff. I love what I do. You know what I mean? I've had unfortunate mishaps, earlier in my career, whether, it be injury,